Hey everyone, today I'm going to share with you how self-love is a courageous act and 3 practical ways that you can use today to start building that self-trust and that inner intuition. Now, I want to ask you this. Are you feeling in a place where you have a chronic resentment against other people? Where you're sick of just over-explaining and justifying and defending yourself? Maybe you feel anxious and you're hyper-vigilant to anyone who even shows you the slightest bit of rejection? Perhaps you even feel like you have a loss of identity and you don't even know who you are anymore because you're so reactive to just other people all the time, trying to prove yourself. Maybe you feel ashamed. You feel like you need to shrink yourself, maybe you feel like you need to hide, and just emotionally exhausted. If this sounds like you, you're not alone. What it shows is that you haven't developed this courageous act of self-love yet. And this is what I hope to share with you today so that you can start empowering yourself with this. It's going to allow you to make better decisions, feel more calm and inner peace in your life, and have a sense of belonging and purpose. I want to start off by sharing a quote from one of my biggest inspirations. She's a shame researcher called Brené Brown. And this is what she said. Daring to set boundaries is about having the courage to love ourselves even when we risk disappointing others. This quote is important because often when it comes to the disappointment of others, we get really triggered and it starts a cycle of people-pleasing and defensiveness. And if still they don't understand us and who we are, we start to over-explain, which results in emotional exhaustion at the end of the day and a build-up of chronic resentment against everyone. This is not healthy for you or for the people around you. You deserve to live in a body that feels calm and enjoy a life that feels fulfilling and purposeful, and be surrounded by people who support you and understand you. Today, I'm going to share with you how you can build that self-love, not by trying to control others, not by trying to force things, not through positive affirmations and just focus on the positive. This is not about sugarcoating and it's not about bypassing. We're going to be directly confronting and transforming our perspective. The first way we can build our self-love is by noticing the highest intention. In NLP and parts work, we understand that each part of us has a highest intention. Every behavior, every action, every belief that we hold has a positive highest intention. Maybe on the surface, the people-pleasing aspect of you seems quite negative, but when you dig deeper, you might understand that it's actually trying to protect you from rejection because maybe it feels so sensitive and unsafe that your subconscious knows that you're not going to be able to take any rejection, so it starts to people please as a matter of protection. It's like an armor, it's like security, and that protection keeps you surviving and it becomes a survival pattern. Your people pleasing is not the problem, it's about how your survival pattern is being triggered through the people pleasing because the inner calm and the inner trust is not being built yet. That foundation of grounding is not being built yet. And this is what I'm going to help you build today. Number 2 is recognizing that your behavior is not your identity. Listen, our thoughts create our beliefs, and our beliefs create emotions, and emotions compel us to act and behave in certain ways, which results in an identity and a personality that we live our life through. But when we start to have a pause between our behavior and our identity, we realize that our behaviors are just a small part of our identity. It is not the entire thing. So just because you people please, it doesn't mean that you're a people pleaser. You have this pause in the middle, you have this space in the middle. And in this space where you have the pause, you can consciously create new patterns and new behaviors that affect our identity. One important thing which is really helpful in parts integration is actually naming those parts of ourselves, such as my overthinker part or my people-pleasing part. Even just naming it allows you to see that it's a puzzle piece with a bigger picture, and it's not the entirety of you, it's just a small part of you. And what that allows you to do is transform that part and integrate that part into your identity without letting it become your entire identity. The third thing that's going to help you build that self-trust is self-compassion. Now, I'm going to be quoting the work of Kristin Neff here. And if you're interested in her work, I would highly recommend you check her out because she talks a lot about self-compassion. A lot of the times, people think that self-compassion is just accepting those parts of ourselves. Or maybe self-compassion is just forcing out of love, like, yeah, I love this people pleasing part of myself. A lot of the times people think self-compassion is just about positive affirmations. And that's not what self-compassion is. We're not trying to eliminate these parts within us. What we're trying to do is integrate. And that starts with mindfulness. Mindfulness is the first step of self-compassion. Self-compassion is not possible without mindfulness. So you have to notice, I am people pleasing right now. When you notice it and name it, it starts to become an action rather than who you are. And what it allows you to do is see yourself as you are right now without forcing it to sound positive. You're actually just recognizing how it is right now and accepting it. Then the second part I think is the most important that people miss is the common humanity. When it comes to self-compassion, you have to recognize that I am not the only one going through this people pleasing right now. I'm not the only one who's having trouble with setting boundaries right now. This is a problem that's faced by many, and a lot of people struggle with this. What that starts to build is a connection and a belonging with people around you rather than an isolating feeling that tells you you're wrong and you need to do it this way and that way. The common humanity makes you feel like you're a part of something bigger, and it restores that sense of belonging that you might be missing due to the shame and the shrinking of yourself. Without recognizing the common humanity, you're still working at the level of the problem. When you start working at the level of the solution, you see this as a bigger issue that everyone struggles with from time to time. You're just struggling with it right now. And the third most important part is the self-kindness. Most people skip the mindfulness and common humanity and go straight to self-kindness. But trust me, I've done that myself, and it just feels like I'm sugarcoating things. Without the common humanity and the mindfulness, the self-kindness can just feel fake. But when you understand that you're not alone and you understand what it is that you're doing, it becomes easier to extend that self-kindness to yourself that you might be extending to everybody around you right now. How do you do this? You say to yourself, even though I have a part of myself that's people-pleasing right now, I still choose to love and accept myself. And this is after you've understood why this part exists, why it's trying to protect you, because you haven't built that sense of safety within yourself. And then you can go into nervous system regulation. Then you can start going into your meditations. Then you can start building those affirmations and those positive thinking. Don't get me wrong, I don't think that affirmations and positive thinking are a complete waste of time. It's just that when those previous steps have not been done, they can be quite short-lasting. And I'm all about long-lasting change. And if you want to have long-lasting change, build those new habits, build that new identity, you're going to have to recognize where you're at right now without sugarcoating it, without forcing and band-aiding with a positive affirmation, and understanding and having that compassion with yourself. If this resonated with you, I would love to know what part of this you find the hardest when it comes to building that self-trust. For me, when it comes to behavior does not equal identity, that is the hardest part for me to understand, because when I've been doing the same behavior over and over for almost my entire life, and then suddenly now I want to start a new behavior and start responding differently, which, trust me, takes a lot of courage. It can feel so scary. And I find that the hardest part. So if you find that the hardest part, you're not alone in that. See how I'm recognizing the common humanity? So I'd love to hear your comments below, and I hope to see you in my next video. Until then, stay well. Bye.